Good afternoon, and welcome to Hillsborough County Fire Rescue's 40th anniversary ceremony. My name is Ronnie Rivera. I'm one of the public relations officers for the department. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of Hillsborough County, the Board of County Commissioners, the Hillsborough County Administrator, and our entire fire rescue department, I want to thank you for joining us during this special celebration. It is an honor to have everyone here with us today. Also, thank you to the viewers who are tuning in and taking part of the celebration. To the brave men and women of our organization, past and present, thank you for your hard work, professionalism, and dedication. It is because of you that we are able to celebrate our 40th anniversary. We're also here to recognize individuals who have made significant contribution to fire rescue. First, I'd like to introduce our Hillsborough County Fire Rescue Fire Chief, Ron Rogers. We also have our department chaplain, Richard Rigdon. It is my honor also to introduce a few of our board county commissioners. With us present here today, we have Commissioner Ken Hagan. Joining us later today, we will have Commissioner Sandra Merman and also Commissioner Al Higginbotham. With us here today, we have our Hillsborough County Administrator, Mike Merrill, our Deputy County Administrator, Ms. Sharon Suveden. I also like to introduce to you our Hillsborough County Fire Rescue executive staff and officers. Please stand to be recognized. Also, it is my honor to recognize our retirees of Hillsborough County Fire Rescue. A few of them are present. I would like for them to stand up, whoever is here. Also, thank you to all the fire rescue services that are here with us today, like Sun City Emergency Squad, At this time, I will ask to please stand for the presentation of colors and the singing of the national anthem, and remain standing to observe a moment of silence.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Order. Ho.
Please remain standing to observe a moment of silence for the men and women serving in our armed forces around the world, and all of our department members who risk their lives daily in service to their community. Thank you. You may be seated. The word hero has fallen into disfavor. TV, books, and the internet take pleasure in debunking the greats. Thomas Jefferson had a slave mistress. Ulysses S. Grant was a drunk. John F. Kennedy was an incorrigible womanizer, and Columbus exploited Native Americans. A destructive view finds the word hero meaningless. In their view, no one is selfless or noble. Behind every act is self-interest. It may be a reflection of our times that we cannot see unvarnished heroes without noticing the baseness that often lies just beneath the surface. They're just ordinary men. But let us not forget, on a beautiful September morning in 2001, terrorists commandeered passenger planes, turning them into weapons. Ordinary men and women sprang into action, and heroes emerged. 343 lost. Do we remember December 3rd, 1999? Worcester, Mass. A fire broke out in an abandoned cold storage warehouse. It started when 2 homeless people knocked over a candle. Crews had just sat down for dinner. 6 ordinary men never came home. How about Charleston, South Carolina, June 18th, 2007? A fire broke out at a furniture store at 7 o'clock p.m. 30 minutes after the fire started, the chief ordered a full evacuation. 9 ordinary men never came out. And just this year, in July, an Arizona wildfire caused by a lightning strike. 19 ordinary men of a 20-member crew lost their lives when weather conditions changed. The 19 deaths made up 20% of the city of Prescott, Arizona's fire department. These are only a few examples. Far from ordinary, heroes accomplish something extraordinary. They show moral valor, especially in adversity, and they are great souls who lift us up through their high-minded, noble examples. These catastrophic events may not happen every day, thankfully, but the fire service stands ready to respond. Hillsborough County Fire Rescue stands on 40 years of service. These ordinary men and women go on duty every day, 24/7, 365 days a year, through holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, and T-ball games, to serve. Leadership and training will prepare us for the cause and keep us safe. But the heart and soul of this and every fire department is the ordinary firefighter, just doing his job, an everyday hero. Every hero, to be sure, is a human and deeply marred by sin. Yet a life without heroes is an impoverished life. As the years have taught us, sports stars and celebrities may hold our interest, but they have no ability to inspire us to live great lives. By contrast, heroes invite us to grow. They enlarge our imagination, They teach us to think big and expand our sense of what's possible. On this anniversary of Hillsborough County Fire Rescue, let us give thanks to the ordinary men and women who serve now and those who have served in the past. Let us pray. Gracious God, make each of us an instrument of your grace. Weave us into a community showing forth your power and tenderness. Bless us and our differences and give us courage to stand together. We call on you today to gather us in your love. Lead us to better know you and glorify you in all that we do. Thank you for our leaders. Thank you for our department. And thank you for the men and women that serve. We give thanks for the protection you have provided over our department. And we pray that your hand be over us for the years to come. Lord, look over our families as we go through our careers, and thank you for the support and the understanding that they give us. Thank you for the opportunity to be a good and faithful servant. In Jesus' name that we pray, amen.
The men and women of today's fire service are confronted with a more dangerous work environment than ever before. We are forced to continually change our strategies and tactics to accomplish our mission. Our methods may change, but our goals remain the same as they were in the past, to save lives and protect property, sometimes at a terrible cost. This is what we do. This is our chosen profession. This is the tradition of the firefighter. The fire service today is ever-changing, but its steep in tradition is 200 years old. One such tradition is the sound of a bell. In the past, as firefighters began their tour of duty, it was the bell that signaled the beginning of the day's shift. Throughout the day and night, each alarm was sounded by a bell, which summoned these brave souls to fight fires and to place their lives in jeopardy for the good of their fellow citizen. And when the fire was out and the alarm had to come to an end, it was the bell that signaled to all the completion of that call. When a firefighter had died in the line of duty, paying the supreme sacrifice, it was the mournful of the toll of the bell that solemnly announced a comrade's passing. We utilize these traditions as symbols which reflects honor and respect on those who have given so much and who have served so well. To symbolize the devotion that these brave souls had for their duty, a special signal of 3 rings, 3 times each, represents the end of the comrade's duties and that they will be returning to quarters. And so, to those who have selflessly given their lives for the good of their fellow men, their task completed, their duties well done, to our comrades, their last alarm, they are going home. The Timothy Rumrow Medal of Valor. Timothy Rumrow was a captain with Hillsborough County Fire Rescue. In 1996, Tim discovered he had cancer. Tim made a courageous decision to fight the cancer and hold on to his dream to one day return to work. Sadly, the cancer took Tim's life. The Timothy Rumrow Medal of Valor is offered in his name to a fire rescue employee who demonstrates courage and determination while facing dangerous conditions to effect a rescue of a victim or another firefighter in need. Today we are honoring the following individuals posthumously with the Tim Rumrow Medal of Valor. These members gave their lives protecting the citizens of Hillsborough County. Their families are here today to receive the Medal of Valor, plaques, and U.S. flag in their honor. Please join us in remembering these 6 members of our department who are gone but not forgotten. Driver engineer Robert Baltimore, 1983. Volunteer Lieutenant Jeffrey Holt, 1988. Captain Daryl Dugan, 2001. Firefighter Gregory Rear, 2005. Rescue Captain Keith Adams, 2005. Rescue Lieutenant Jonathan Rigg, 2006. Please stand for the retirement of the colors. Thank you. You may be seated. Part of our 40th year anniversary celebration, our history of the department started with volunteer companies all over throughout the county. And with us here today, we have one of our volunteer Chief Mark Kurtz from Volunteer Station number 23 from Dover. Chief Kurtz has 40 years of service with the department, and we'd like to present him with a plaque.
I'd just like to take a moment, and above all else, thank God. I'd also like to thank the senior administrative staff from Fire Rescue, the Office of the County Administrator, and the Deputy Administrators for allowing me the opportunity and the pleasure to serve the citizens of Hillsborough County. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Kurtz. Our other chief from our other volunteer associations could not be here with us today, but we'll also be presenting them with a plaque as well for their service to the community of Hillsborough County. Now I'd like to introduce you to our fire chief, Ron Rogers. He would like to say a few words.
Good afternoon, commissioners, family, Mr. Merrill, Ms. Subadan. We thank you for coming out this afternoon to help us celebrate our 40th anniversary. From its humble beginnings in the 1950s as an all-volunteer organization to today, Hillsborough County has grown to be one of the top 20 departments in the United States. Sadly, we've lost many members of our family throughout the years. In addition to the 6 members of our family lost in the line of duty, too many others have died before their time. Let us pause for a moment of silence in memory of those who have passed too soon and have left a hole in our hearts. Hillsborough County volunteers are our roots. Many men and women have sacrificed their days and nights serving Hillsborough County from 1950 through today as volunteers. Some gave the ultimate sacrifice with their life. Those volunteers were successful in establishing 24 stations in those early years that today form the backbone of our organization. As with all major endeavors, this effort could not have succeeded without its great leaders during those early years. County Fire Coordinator Ed Levine and Fire Chief Chet Tharp are 2 of the many great leaders who served Hillsborough County in those foundational years. Anyone who has lived here for a long time understands Hillsborough County has changed greatly over the years, but the numbers tell the true story. One example is the nearly quintuple growth of the population in the unincorporated county from 1970 to today. Some of our milestones over the years. On March 15th, 1950, the Gibsonton Volunteer Fire Department was formed. Our records indicate that's the first truly organized department outside of the Florida Forest Service in Hillsborough County. On January 1st, 1964, Ed Levine was hired as the first county fire coordinator, and the county began providing some funding to the volunteers. By 1970, at least 10 volunteer stations were open. On April 1st, 1971, Chet Tharp replaced Ed Levine as the fire coordinator. He would subsequently become the first fire chief of Hillsborough County. On August 27th, 1973, the first career member of Hillsborough County Fire Department was hired. We have the pleasure of having one of those members here in attendance today, Wayne Garrett. If you would stand and be recognized. On June 15th, 1974, Hillsborough County Emergency Medical Services was formed by the county to replace Ambulances Incorporated, which was a private company that handled the ambulance transport before then. On August 14th, 1977, Emergency Medical Services started the first advanced life support program with paramedics. They served the unincorporated Hillsborough County area as well as the cities of Temple Terrace and Plant City at that time. On January 1st, 1997, Hillsborough County EMS and Hillsborough County Fire Department merged to become Hillsborough County Fire Rescue. On March 16, 2011, we welcomed 2 new members into our family, the Emergency Dispatch Center and the Emergency Management Department. On January 1st, 2013, we transitioned from an organization that had some volunteer stations that were staffed solely by volunteers to stations now, all 43 are staffed primarily with career personnel, but they're still augmented with reserve responders, keeping that volunteer spirit alive. Today, Hillsborough County Fire Rescue is one of the largest, most progressive fire departments in the country. We have 980 career personnel, augmented by 164 reserve responders, and that program is still growing. And they serve out of 43 stations. We've got the largest department on the west coast of Florida. We're tied as the 3rd largest department in the state of Florida, and we're tied as the 16th largest department in the country. Who are we? We're a group of men and women who are dedicated to saving lives and property, not to get rich, but to make a difference. Most will not live long into retirement, if they even make it to retirement. Regardless, none of us would trade our career for any other. We live to serve and hope to make a difference whenever we can. We are Hillsborough County Fire Rescue. We are givers. Our personnel don't just serve the community during their working hours. Many of them also give back to the community through charitable work on their days off. These people give willingly and cheerfully so that others may live a better life. We are an award-winning organization. In addition to the numerous individual awards our members have received, the department has been recognized with several state and national awards. what we do. We respond to people on their worst days of their lives in any type of emergency situation you can imagine. This includes fires large and small. While not the largest volume of our responses, as these pictures show, each one has the potential to be devastating. We render aid to the sick and injured. This can range from the spectacular motor vehicle incident to an ill person at home. Regardless of the cause, our personnel touch people's lives every day, and our hearts are touched by the people we serve. We participate in large-scale events, whether planned or unexpected. This can range from large political events, the Republican National Convention that thankfully is behind us, to the train derailments and everything in between. We respond to hazardous materials incidents, large and small. All pose a risk to our personnel and the community. We participate as the lead agency in the Florida Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 3, which has rendered aid to assistance here and as far away as Biloxi, Mississippi. But as we build the future, we need to remember our past. It is important that we preserve our heritage and prepare our future generations of firefighters. The following pictures represent the evolution of our apparatus through the years. The engine company is depicted here as the mainstay of our fire response, and in many cases delivers the first paramedic to the sick and injured. The truck company is not the largest part of our fleet, but it plays a critical role in our response. From providing an elevated water stream for the growing number of multi-story buildings to providing the first level of technical rescue capability, these units play an important role every day. As I mentioned earlier, hazmat response is our ever-present part of our life. As a result, Hillsborough County was one of the first departments in the country to form a hazmat team. This vehicle carries the equivalent of an analytical lab and the equipment necessary to address the hazard to every one of these types of incidents. Our heavy rescue program is prepared for any type of complicated rescue. This can range from a major vehicle accident to a building collapse and everything in between. From the early days of the horse-drawn ambulance to today, getting the sick and injured to the hospital has been a key component of healthcare. These trucks not only deliver the patient to the hospital, but they deliver our personnel and their sophisticated equipment to the patient. While not all incidents require a prolonged response, those that do require a command and control platform that will permit the space and equipment for the management of a complex incident. Our mobile command vehicle fills that need. Yet our most valuable resource is our people. Men and women ready and willing to lay down their lives for their fellow citizens. They are what defines Hillsborough County Fire Rescue, and I'm proud to serve every one of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. At this time, please turn your attention to the monitors. Hillsborough County Television has created a montage of pictures that captures our department over the last 40 years. Please enjoy the video. Thank you to Hillsborough County Television's team for making this video as part of our 40th anniversary. Good job. The next part of the ceremony is very important to myself and to the rest of our staff. In honor of the history of the department, we would like to present these portraits of the previous chiefs in recognition of the great men whose leadership laid the foundation for today's Hillsborough County Fire Rescue. First, we have Fire Chief Chep Tharp. He served from 1971 to 1985. Chief Tharp was the first fire chief of what was then known as Hillsborough County Fire Department. During his tenure as chief, the department hired its first career members. Prior to this, fire protection was provided in Hillsborough County by a group of community-based volunteer fire departments. Fire Chief Chep Tharp. In honor of Chief Tharp, I would like to introduce his son, Josh Chef Tharp, who will speak on behalf of the Tharp family.
Chief, fellow firefighters, Commissioner, thank you so much for giving my family the opportunity to share with you today the unveiling of these portraits and to look back on the history of the Hillsborough County Fire Department. I didn't know that I was going to be speaking today, and I can tell you this, when I'm in court and the case is over and I look at the state and I look at the defense and I say, is there anything further? And the defense attorney says, Judge, briefly. I know I'm in trouble. No lawyer can talk briefly, but I'm going to try to talk briefly to you. And I want to tell you a little bit about my dad. Although my sister, my brother, and I took different career paths, the fire department is our family. And it almost didn't happen. My dad went to work for the city of Tampa in 1946. What most of you probably do not know was he was an athlete. He was an extremely accomplished, fast-pitch softball pitcher. Chief Levine at the time was the chief of the city of Tampa, and he's extremely competitive. There were two teams with the city of Tampa. There was an A team and a B team. My dad pitched for the B team. Ed Levine called him in, and Chief Levine called him in and says, Chet, he says, we're going to play a game. We're going to have the A team play against the B team. Well, they played, and my dad pitched a no-hitter. The next morning, Chief Levine called him in and almost fired him. So after that, they became very, very good friends, and ultimately, Chief Levine, as the fire coordinator for Hillsborough County, hired my dad as the fire marshal for Hillsborough County underneath Chief Levine's direction. I can remember growing up, my dad working with Hillsborough County Fire, and let me say this: my dad was a consummate professional when it comes to firefighting. He loved nothing more than anything when it came to the fire service. They were his brothers, and then ultimately his sisters. I can remember when he would travel to Stark and purchase military vehicles and bring them back to the warehouse that was on 78th Street and Ross Macalusa and Foots Heston would make fire trucks out of ex-military vehicles. You rang the bell. My dad required on every fire truck there be a bell. Part of the fire department's history. I remember growing up when he decided, he looked outside the box, and he decided that the time has come that the volunteers had done such a great service to the citizens of Hillsborough County, but we had become so populated that the time had come to start integrating paid professionals, and he moved in that direction. I can remember times when my dad would work with firefighters in setting houses on fire and having them put them out. And one of the funny stories is when he was with the city of Tampa and he was an arson investigator, he investigated a fellow that was with the mafia that was a torch, and I won't mention the fellow's name. I know his name, but I won't mention it. But I can remember my dad going out and setting a house on fire, and he says, damn, and the house blew up. What his purpose was to have the house set it on fire 2 or 3 times, and he knew how the guy was setting these houses on fire, never caught him. But he went out and he set a house on fire, and the house blew up. He says, damn it, he got me again. My dad would have loved to have been here today to see the progress that Hillsborough County has made in their fire service. He would have been standing right here with all of you saying, job well done. Thank you again for allowing my sister, my wife, my daughter, and our family to be a part of this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Next, EMS Director James Allgood. He served from 1974 to 1996. James Allgood was the first and only director of the Hillsborough County Department of Emergency Medical Services. In this role, he oversaw the initiation of the first advanced life support paramedic ambulance system in Hillsborough County. Jim Allgood led the department's transition to be one of the top systems in the country. This department was later merged with Hillsborough County Fire Department to become what we are now, Hillsborough County Fire Rescue. EMS Director James Allgood. In honor of EMS Director Allgood, I would like to introduce his wife, Ms. Cecilia Allgood, who will speak on behalf of the Allgood family.
Hello. Thank you so much. Well, on behalf of Amy, who is a firefighter paramedic for fire rescue, and our entire family, we thank you for acknowledging the many, many years and the blood, sweat, and tears that Jim did to establish a professional emergency medical services system for this county. And he worked for this county for over 35 years. And in that time, he did so much to have Hillsborough County be a shining example, not just for the state of Florida, but for the entire country. And I didn't even know until after his death at his funeral. I had an EMS director from Charlotte, South Carolina come and tell me how much Jim had influenced him in establishing an EMS system in Charleston, South Carolina. I also got letters from Mississippi and California. So Jim was not only an influence in Hillsborough County, but nationwide as well. And everyone has a great pride in that, including him, of course. And I know there was nothing more dear to him than getting a letter from a family who felt that a professional paramedic had saved their loved one's life. And that was the most important thing to him. And so we are very honored by this revelation of his portrait today, and we thank you for inviting us. I just wanted to tell you one funny story because, I mean, you know, Jim worked for Ambulances Incorporated way before there was an EMS system here. And I worked at St. Joseph's Hospital, the 3 to 11 shift, and I knew when I heard a siren coming, it was him, because he was one of the only ambulances and covered the entire county at night. And so when I heard a siren, I walked down to the emergency room, and one time I came in and I said, "So what was going on?" And he said, "Well, I had 2 women both delivering babies at the same time." And I said, "What did you do?" He said, "I told them to cross their legs." And that's the kind of man he was. Simple, plain, spoken. And I know those of you who knew him knew that that's what he was. So thank you so much for this honor today. We really thank you most sincerely.
Thank you. Fire Chief Earl Goff. He served from 1985 to 1990. Fire Chief Goff was the department's second fire chief and continued the transition to a professional fire service by creating more career fire companies and facilitating a more coordinated response. Fire Chief Earl Goff. His contribution to this department and the citizens of Hillsborough County will not be forgotten. Fire Chief Jim Callahan. He served from 1990 to 1996. Chief Callahan served as the department's 3rd fire chief. Chief Callahan increased the department's use of technology by integrating computers into the department. He also developed the department's first standard operating procedures manual. Fire Chief Jim Callahan. Chief Callahan could not be with us here today, but he sent us a letter, and I'd like to read that now. Unfortunately, I will not be in the Tampa Bay area during this time frame, so please express my regrets to Chief Rogers and the attendees. I have many fond memories of my tenure as Fire Chief of Hillsborough County Fire Rescue, and I still have several lasting friendships that were built during that time. I was Fire Chief during a pivotal transition time in Hillsborough County Fire Rescue's history. We had to work through some significant growing pains. My work there was never easy, but was substantially rewarding. All the best to the men and women of Hillsborough County Fire Rescue. You should be very proud of the work you do every day. Firefighting is not just a job, it is a lifelong vocation. You're still a public service. Signed by James K. Callahan, Fire Chief, Monroe County Fire Rescue. Fire Chief Bill Nismith. He served from 1996 to 2011. Chief Nismith oversaw the merger of Hillsborough County EMS and the Hillsborough County Fire Department into the current Hillsborough County Fire Rescue in a manner that is recognized as a model for fire rescue consolidation. He also initiated the paramedic engine program that provided for a more timely response during his tenure. The department grew by adding 6 new stations. Fire Chief Bill Nismith. And we are very honored to have former Fire Chief Bill Nismith with us today. We would like to invite him to come forward and say a few words.
It's a real honor for me to be here today. The fire service has been very good to me. I've had the fortune of being able to work with each one of these former chiefs, starting with Chief Levine, work with him in Tampa, and Jim Allgood, Earl Goff, Chet Thorpe. Matter of fact, Chet Thorpe and I were neighbors out in Forest Hills, and Jim Callahan hired me in 1994. So it's been a tremendous career for me. Fortunately, I had 41 years in the service. The first 24 of those years was with Tampa Fire Department. And all of a sudden I became wiser and had an opportunity to come to Hillsborough County Fire Rescue. Hillsborough County Fire Rescue made such a difference in my life to see the professionalism, the growth that we had over the 17 years that I was here. And I appreciate the men and women of this department, and I just thank you for allowing me to be a part of it for 17 years. It is one of the best departments in the country, the state, and will always be. So thank every one of you, all the men and women of Hillsborough County Fire Rescue, for allowing me to be a part. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chief. At this time, we would like to present a plaque, Medal of Valor plaque, to some family members of the 6 line of duty deaths that are here present today. First, I would like to call Ms. Jackie Dugan. Captain Dugan passed away 2001. Is a family member for Jeffrey Holt here? No. Holt? No. Thank you. This Medal of Valor plaque will be received by Chief Kurtz in behalf of their family. I would also like to call Ms. Adams to come forward, please. The Medal of Valor to Rescue Captain Keith Adams. His wife, Roberta Adams, will be receiving it.
This concludes our ceremony. We will have some cake and refreshment in the back room. And we thank all of you today for coming and helping us celebrate this event. And we look forward to the next many years to come as a great organization. Thank you.